When you're like me, you have too many SCX24s. This one I've had a long time. You've built a lot of them. I'm kind of looking for something a little bit different, but also kind of familiar, because at the end of the day, it is kind of a hobby. I mean, I got this one, which there's the video on, and somebody said it looked like a sword. Oh, we got this one, it looks like some lemonade. Yeah, this one looks like a fancy drink you would get at, like, I almost said IHOP, but Starbucks or something. We wanted to do a special SCX24 for this one. So yeah, this was really cool. So this one started like kind of how all of the other builds go, is you get in there and you build the transmission and put together the frame rails, and it was really easy. So this is the NerdRC Gizmo chassis that you have come to love at this point, if you are a fan of the channel and a fan of what Josh and I do. This one's special because I think it was one of his first titanium polished chassis. This was before he started offering titanium or something, so I got one of the first titanium ones, and it sat in my closet for a while. And I'm also getting ready for the NerdRC / Casey's Cozy Garage road trip in Scotland that is about to happen too. But yeah, so this is the teaser of how this truck is going to look at the end. So yeah, enjoy these clips of me building and struggling with the parts. Didn't do a great job filming with it. We are going to paint it, and then I'll give you some final thoughts about how I thought this build went. Oh, we dropped the... There we go. Welcome to Casey's Cozy Garage. Today we are starting a new build with all parts that I own, because shouldn't be spending any money at the moment. So here is the Champion. Now this truck was like the most successful NerdRC truck at some point, but it has seen better days. The body has exploded on it. And take all of the parts here, we're gonna use the same ESC, and we're gonna put it on a titanium set of NerdRC Gizmo chassis. These are awesome. And they're hand polished by Josh himself. He said that these are a lot of effort and barely worth it. So if you go out there and buy a titanium set or have a titanium set, just know how special it is, because they're super hard to polish, they're super hard to make. They cost more to him, and but he did it anyway because it's cool. And we are gonna put this Datsun truck body on it. I think it's gonna go pretty well. All we have to do is put all of these parts on here, and then we'll, I don't know, frame this chassis rail set or something like that, because it was a big part of NerdRC's history. This is where this truck meets its end, but it will rise into the ashes as something really special here. We are going to put some really neat parts on it. So we have some deadbolts, special front links here. I think we're gonna put these rears on if they're the right size, I think. One cool thing about NerdRC history is that the Gizmo comes with a special low mounted, a low like frame tray here, and that originated because I built this truck with the ESC zip tied between these two rails, and that lowered the center of gravity in the rear for this truck. So interesting piece of NerdRC history right there. Oh, safety squints. Always wear eye protection. Do as I say, not as I do. And this should all come out with the greatest of ease. Greatest of ease. Okay, I had to do that off camera because it was a little bit easier without the camera in the way, but we took the transmission out of the stock style kit, which is low, but it scrapes on everything. and we mounted it to the NerdRC flat skid. The skid is designed to go over rocks pretty good, but the tolerances are pretty tight, so you know, it's a little bit difficult to get it together, but it is great and nothing comes loose once you put it all together. Alright, I know what I'm doing. Here is a very special set of links, which is also part of NerdRC history. So if you saw my video, or any of the videos of this truck previously running, you'll notice that I actually was one of the first people in my local area to run brass links in the front and something else in the back for weight distribution. So when Josh from NerdRC saw that, he was like, that's a great idea. Let's make brass front links and titanium rears, right? But then we took it one step further, and now we have tripled up the brass front links, and then the top links are titanium. So we save weight a little bit higher up, and we move that weight down further. So that's pretty cool. These are gonna go on this skid like that. Yeah, ready? Alright, so now we put the skid onto the thingy, which then goes onto the skid plate, and bam, we got it! And bada bing, bada boom, look at what we got here. We got ourselves a NerdRC titanium Gizmo chassis, and this body is going to go over it. It's going to look really cool. Yeah, so you will see photos of, or you will see footage of some of the accessories put on it, or maybe we should put the axles on. Yeah, let's do that. And there we have it. Rear is kind of on. I've gone with the outer mount because that's just kind of the NerdRC way to outer mount the upper link. And, you know, I'm thinking about doing something different. So, I'm gonna save this front end for another build. I think we're gonna put it on the stock Lexus build, maybe. But for now, we are going to build a completely new front end. So we got that gear. We have a brass axle housing. That big boy is big. And this will be like a very medium weight truck. And then we have these big axial hubs, so that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, let's use this steering link as well. Yeah, that'll look good. Oh wait, one more thing. We have some CVDs here that will give us a little bit more strength and some more turning radius. Yeah, that's gonna be good. And we put 2 bearings in there, like that. 1 and a 2. Yep, with the greatest of ease. Oh shoot. Every time I film it. Come on. Alright, okay, cool. And then we put the gear in like this. Yes. Then we can put our worm gear in like that. And now we can stick a bunch of grease in it. And then before we do that, we'll put the CVD in like that. Oh, that's looking good. All right. Now we will put the grease in. Oops, silly me. I forgot the bearing that goes in there. That would have made a lot of play. And then the worm gear goes in. Okay, yeah. Good thing I did it before I got all greased up, so it's not a big mess. So we've gotten about this far on the build, and I think this will look pretty cool. The body mount kind of wants to sit a little bit further down here. I guess we'll do that and maybe carve out the rear, or maybe we'll set it further back. But we have the most generic shocks you need, because you don't really need super nice shocks. So we'll slap those on there, and we're getting kind of closer to where we want to be. I've gotten a tripod now, so I can work with both of my hands. This is gonna be great. Okay, we got this body mounted and it's looking pretty good. I think there's a little bit more spring in the front than I would have liked, but maybe we can add weight to it in a specific spot, or maybe it'll be a little bit better. Yeah, maybe we'll do something about this, but we have this fancy magnetic mount now. There it is, and then it's got this little clip on top designed by NerdRC. So the whole idea is you can get it in there and it's not gonna shake off during a comp, which is great. Look at that. So alright, on to the next thing, the electronics. Next thing is electronics. We're going to run a Gen 1 system in this, and I think we'll mount it way back here, kind of, I'm feeling right there. Maybe we'll put the Gizmo tray in, and then when this is all closed and said and done, it will fit all nicely just like that. Maybe we could set a cool spare tire back there or something. So I'm interested to figure out which tire I'm gonna go. I bought another set of ghosts at some point. I think I might save those for another project, I'm not sure. System check time. Yeah, so it's all plugged in for now. And before we solidify where everything goes, stick this all together and turn on the RC car. Oh, cool, okay. Oh, the throttle's the right way too, okay. We can just mag mount the body on. Look at that. Oh yes, Gen 1 ESC. Ooh, this feels like nostalgic, like my first SCX24. Oh yeah, look at that jumpy ESC. I love it. So yeah, first impression of driving this is, it's pretty great. I usually run my springs and shocks kind of at the lowest settings possible, but this one is kind of a mid-sprung vehicle, and it really drives like kind of a super stock truck with really high capabilities is I guess what I would say, in the fact that the skinny track width really helps you fit between a lot of these like razor thin rock areas here. It's kind of got a floppy rear end because the rear end is nylon, and we're just running like aluminum wheels with simple brass rings in the rear. And whilst the front has a brass front axle, it has, what else does it have? It has lead weights inside of the tires and stuff. So it has a strange balance, and it's kind of incredible up the hill, but it has a little bit of unpredictability, kind of where the rear end decides to flop sometimes. But all in all, I think this is a great build and a great place to start. And I think one of the things that I would probably change right away is to, I don't know, like, I kind of like the way it moves about the springs, but the springs are a different driving style than I am used to. So yeah, this will be an interesting way to complete this build. So after driving it for the first time, we definitely got in there and painted it, and I wanted to like try to do as good as my Lexus GX 460, 470, for one of the fours. My friend Mike did that paint job. I commissioned him to do it, and he knocked it out of the park. And I was like, well, you know, I can do that. He told me you just start with some wet sanding or a little on it. And so that's what I did. I wet sanded it a little bit. I got some of the grain out of it. And then I opened a new can of Rust-Oleum, right? And the new can had, oh man, the new can must have had some like paint inside the tube, because I shook that can, I put it in warm water for a while, and it's still, the first paint that came out of that can still came out crummy. And it's my mistake that I didn't do like a test paint on some place on a different piece of cardboard to make sure that the can was fine. So it kind of added this like crinkly texture. I don't know if you could see it with my makeshift lighting right now, but it came with this like crinkly texture that was just not looking good, and I was kind of really frustrated. May have cursed at the camera a little bit, but then I had this idea. I had a can of red sitting behind, and I was like, well, now is as a good time as ever to try to paint it a different color, or try to like do a fade on it, like I've successfully done an Lexan body, except for we're just painting the outside. If it looks bad, so what? I was a little frustrated because I spent so much time sanding it, but once that red started going on, I was like, no, that still doesn't look good. So then I started just kind of dusting the whole thing with some red paint, and we ended up getting kind of this fun sunburst effect. Now, the funny thing that since the base layer of yellow looked so bad, it actually made the red look good. It made it look like Cheeto dust. So I ended up going with this, and I posted a photo to Reddit, and people loved it, even though I was like, you know, it's a pretty questionable paint job. I probably wasn't patient enough, and it came out like this. But at the end of the day, it looked pretty good. No, all in all, I think one thing that has significantly changed from when I drove it first in those clips is that I put my weighted wheels in the back. Now, don't get me wrong, I was able to climb straight up, but I had like a weight distribution of something like 75 front, you know, like 25 rear, which helps you climb up steep stuff, but it makes the truck really hard to drive in other situations. So I was having a hard time like going down things. It was like when you try to throw a hammer and it like floops over and it just pulls the handle with it. That's kind of what it was like to drive this truck. So I ended up putting my weighted wheels, I put lead weights in the front wheels of most of my trucks, because this truck has a brass front end, completely brass. I ended up putting the weighted wheels in the rear, and it's balanced it out a lot better. I don't have corner scales, but it kind of feels like it's in the 56% front range, which is not quite as front heavy as I'd like it. I like to do kind of 59, 60, but it makes the truck way more predictable over different terrains. So the next time you see this truck, it will be in a NerdRC video. All right, yeah. NerdRC video. Me and NerdRC official are going to Scotland, and we're going to try to do as much RC related and content related stuff. So if you're a fan of any of us, go check out the NerdRC YouTube channel. I'll see you over there. And you know, I've been Casey from Casey's Cozy Garage. Take care of yourselves out there. Drink some water. It's a scary world out there. A glass of water a day will keep the demons away.
or at least that's what my wife seems to think. So anyway, I've been Casey, and I hope that you have a good day.